next period. I'll try to get next period to do the problems we don't do in here so you have them all. Okay, what's your next question, Brittany? 4. All right, I think before we go into this next grouping of questions, I don't know if you want to make a study sheet or not, but these were 2 big pieces. All right? You could either be given 2 equal sides, or you could be given let me do this one different. Or you could be given 2 equal angles. If 2 sides are equal, then there was a theorem that said the angle opposite the equal sides are what? Congruent. Okay? And then the converse. If you have 2 equal angles, then the sides opposite those angles are what? Congruent. This was the first time we talked about a side being opposite an angle or vice versa. All right? What am I doing, Brittany? 4. All right. So let me draw number 4. And if they don't give you a picture, what are you supposed to do? Becky, do you have a pass? What pass? So we've got M, U, and T. All right. So they're telling us that T is the vertex angle. So here I'm checking your vocabulary. What does that mean that T is a vertex angle? I should have said of an isosceles triangle. What does that mean? There should be 2 equal sides. Which ones are equal? T is the vertex. UT and MT. All right, the equal sides form that angle. With that said, if you are told that the angle here is 3x minus 4 and angle M is 2x plus 15, question, if you see 2 equal sides in a triangle, what are you supposed to think? Leslie? 2 equal sides, what are you supposed to think? Not, this side will not be equal, no. Okay? When you're given 2 equal sides, what are you supposed to find? Right. How do I find those? Okay, what is opposite this tick mark? That's a U. Okay. What's opposite this tick mark? An M. We're given angles. We're in a triangle. What's the relationship of 3 angles in a triangle, Brittany? They all add up to 180. Question is, what is this measured? That's the only one we don't have. Okay. What's the significance of those 2 little arcs? Why is this 2x plus 15? Because they're congruent. Those 2 arcs mean those are congruent. So the equation we would write for number 4 is 2 times 2x plus 15 is equal to 3x minus 4. So you got 4x plus 30 equals 3x minus 4. I'm subtracting 3x. I'm going to, oh. Just kidding. What am I supposed to do? I totally wrote that wrong. Someone help me. Eric?
That's a plus.
Excellent. You did a better job than I did, Eric. All right. Are we there? Are we better? So now we got 4x plus 30 plus 3x minus 4. Could you have said 2x plus 15 plus 2x plus 15 plus 3x minus 4? Okay. So you're going to have 7x plus 26 equals 180. When we subtract 26, anybody put the calculator away? There we are, still real dependent. This is going to be a 4. This is going to be 5. I've got 154. We're going to divide by 7. I'll do the long division, in case you forgot. How many times does 7 go into 15? 2. 2 times 7 is 14. Subtract, bring down. 7 into 14 goes 2. So x is equal to 22. But what did they ask for? They asked for u. How do I find u? Sydney, how do I get u? Exactly. And that's going to be 44 plus 15, which is 44, 54, 59. Next. Yes, ma'am. Okay. Now, in the next problem, this is another thing I'm testing. And I really hope I wrote it this way. I gave you this picture. This is I, this is H, and this is G. Okay. But I didn't mark my picture, did I? What word did I use in the directions? Mid-segment. Thank you, Leslie. Okay, what do we know about the mid-segment of a triangle? All right, we have a parallel relationship here. With a parallel relationship, we open ourselves up to corresponding angles, alternate interior angles, same side interior, etc. Okay, that's one. That's one. We've got parallel segments. The mid-segment's parallel to the third side. There's another. Harper? FG and GH are congruent because G is a midpoint. So it connects to midpoints. What's the other midpoint then? I. So I was testing to see your understanding of a mid-segment. All right, and there's one more piece. And we did patty paper to discover this one. What's equal to each other? There are some angles based on the parallel sides. What's the relationship between this length and this length? Okay, GI is half of FE, or it takes two mid-segments to equal the third side, the third parallel. How's that? That's another key piece to study. So, Brittany, what question did you ask for? Okay, I'm getting there. All right, so 6 told you that FG is 2x minus 1, and they told you that FH, this is a flashback to Unit 1, beginning of the year. Okay, you need to write an equation. Based on this picture, what are you going to write? Excellent. They are not equal. A part of a segment cannot equal the whole segment, but the fact that you knew that was a midpoint told you this was 2x minus 1, which gave you this equation. 4x minus 2 equals 7x minus 14. Subtract your 4. Add 14, you're going to get 12. So x is 4. What did I ask for? HG. How do I find HG? Eric, how do I find HG?
2x minus 1 plus 2x minus 1
Wait a minute. Hey, what is HG? HG is 2x minus 1, right? And see, we already went to where you were. And what have we since found? That x is what? So how am I going to find HG? Exactly. So 2 times 4 is 8, minus 1 is 7. Tell me. Uh-huh. Oh, does anybody have a worksheet? Because my worksheet doesn't have answers. Mine's before. You think my answers were wrong? So on 6, what did I say? X equals 3, guess what? I'm wrong on 6. Okay? Curious to see what I did. I'm very wrong. I said 12 divided by 3 was 3. Okay, next. Kayla. 5? Okay, so we're still working with this diagram. So on 5, I told you that I told you that this segment is 3x plus 1, and I told you that EF is 8x minus 15. Yes. What's the relationship? 2 mid-segments equal the third side. So what will this equation be? Right. Okay. Got to know these 3 properties of the mid-segment. So now we're going to get 6x plus 2 is equal to 8x minus 15. Subtract the 6, add 15, 16, 17. X is 17 halves, which is, what did I ask for? Find the value of x. Is that what I told you all? Which is 8.5. Yes, Samantha. 7. Okay, this is great because we're still on this one diagram. So let's come back up here. It says angle F. See, what color have I not used? Maybe I'll go for red. Angle F right here is 4x minus 8. And FGI, that angle, is x minus 2. Remember our parallel segments? My question is, I really wanted a different color. All right. What letter do these form? A C or a U? I don't know how you all learned that. So what does that relate? What type of angles are they? Corresponding for an F. Same side interior. And what do we know about same side interior angles? Right. So what we're going to do is we are going to say that 4x minus 8 plus x minus 2 equals 180. Could I have given you F and this one up here? Then what letter would they have formed? It's the green plus the blue. Well, it would form an F, and they would have been corresponding. 5x minus 10 equals 180. If you add 10, you have 5x equals 190. If I take 5 and divide 190, 5 goes into 19 3 times. That 5 goes into 48, which means x is equal to 38, but I believe I asked for IGH. So I'm asking for this angle here. So how am I going to get that angle? There's 2 ways you could do it. I need this. I could use 4x minus 8 because that angle and this angle are corresponding, therefore they are congruent. How would you use this angle with this one? What if you knew this angle, what would you have to do? Subtract from 180 because that is a supplementary relationship. So I think I'm going to choose the x minus 2 relationship because I can take 38 minus 2, which is 36 real easily, and then I'll take 180 minus 36. So without a calculator, I chose that route. With a calculator, I probably would have done the other one. So I got 144. Was that my answer? Yes. All right, next question. Brittany. Use the, yes. I put lots of segments in there. I put lots of segments in there to see if you knew what was going on. So we've got this segment. We've got this segment. We've got this segment with these little tick marks. And, oh, that's it. Oh, I did tell you that this was congruent to this. All right. So you've got A, M, B, N, C, O, and P. All right, so I have asked A for median. So let's review what is a median. Median begins where? Where does a median begin? Vertex. And connects to what? Or maybe we'll say and ends where? Where does a median end? Where on the opposite side? Midpoint. Midpoint of opposite side. Do you know what a median in a highway is? Okay, so median is in the middle of the road. So if it's a median, it's going to begin at the vertex and go to the midpoint of the opposite side. So I see two midpoints. M is a midpoint and N is a midpoint, but only one of them is a median. Which one's the median? CM is the median. Why isn't ON? Does not start at a vertex. Okay, part B then asks for an altitude. So let's review an altitude. Again, an altitude begins at a vertex. And what is its relationship? Altitude? Perpendicular. Just perpendicular, doesn't have to bisect. To line containing the opposite side. We have to do that in case it's obtuse. So when I'm looking at this picture, I see two right angles. I see a right angle here, and I see a right angle there. The question is, which one is the altitude? Why not ON? Does not start on the vertex. So BP is my altitude. Next question. Tommy. 18. AF. Oh, okay. This is another big concept. You've got several questions. There's some applications. Okay. So now, I have used the word centroid. That's a special point. This is the centroid. Okay, what is the centroid? It's the point of concurrency. That means where all those lines intersect. Point of concurrency of what? Angle bisectors, medians, altitudes. Which one? Medians. All right. So I'm going to stop here, and because it's medians, that means this is congruent to that because that's a midpoint. It means that this is congruent to this because that's a midpoint, and this is congruent to this because that's a midpoint. So you may see it this way. They may use the word centroid. You need to associate the word centroid and this concept of medians. Now, there's a special relationship from the vertex to the centroid with from the centroid to the midpoint. Do you all remember? Okay, so yellow is 2/3 of the whole. Green is 1/3 of the whole. That's HO. Okay. What's the relationship between yellow and green? Yellow is 2 times the green. So on 18 is what we're doing. 18, they told us that AF is 8x minus 9. And they told us that FD is 2x plus 7. So what equation do we write? Two x plus 7 plus 2x plus 7, 8x minus 9. From the vertex to the point of concurrency, that is 2 of those. So you're going to have 4x plus 14 equals 8x minus 9. Subtract your 4x, add your 9, I believe is 23. So x equals 23/4. I don't know what I asked for. Find AD. Did I get 23/4? Yes, I did. So now, where is AD? AD? Oh, AD is the whole thing. How do I get this whole thing? Well, I can find this one, and I can find this one, and I can add them together. That is one option. What if I focus just on this? What would I do to that number? Multiply by what? 3. What do you want to do? 4 goes into 23 5 times, which is 20. And that's going to be 5 3/4. That would be 5.75. All right. So if I say 2 times 5.75 plus 7, I'm finding this part right there right now. That is going to be 11.5, I think. 5.75 times 2 is 10, carrier 1 is 14, plus 1 is 15, carrier 1, 11.5. Plus 7 is equal to 18.5. Now, what answer did I give you all? I did multiply that by 3. All right. So now on A, now that's just that part right there. So the whole segment's going to be 3 of those. So 18.5 times 3 is going to be 15, 24, 25, 3, 4, 5, 1 decimal place. So we get 55.5. Or you could have taken this number, substituted in there, gotten that number, and added them together. What else would you like to see? Yes? 19. 19, draw an obtuse triangle, and we are to inscribe. All right, I'm telling you, you got one of each of these on your test. How do we inscribe? Is it inscribe? What do I have to do with my compass? Perpendicular bisectors will circumscribe. If I want to inscribe, then I'm going to need to do angle bisectors, which means I make an arc. I put my compass point on each point of intersection, and I make another arc. I'm going to come over here, and then we connect this with a segment. Okay. Then I do another one. I'm going to do this one. 19, I think. Am I right? So I'm going to do an arc here. I'm going to move my compass point up here. We're inscribing. This is the one that has an extra step. So I'm going to do an arc. Then I'm going to do, Caitlin. Nope. Because all three angle bisectors intersect at the same point. Okay, so now what did we just locate right there? The center. Now the question is, this is the problem. When I put my compass point on the center, where do I put this pencil point? Do I put it here? Do I put it there? Where do I put it? That's the question. So we're going to make sure that my pencil point is beyond that side. And you could have done this to any of the three sides. And now we're going to see if I can change colors. Maybe not. All right, so now I'm going to, oh, I did. So now I'm going to do the perpendicular from a point outside the line. So once I do that, then I can put my pencil point there. I'll make an arc. Then I'm going to come over here. Maybe I'm trying to be as accurate as possible and make another arc. So now I'm going to connect this point to that point of intersection. What do I need from this? I need from here to here. That's the radius of my circle. So now we're going to come back here, put our pencil point on this point of intersection. I'm going to take my compass point and put it on that point of intersection. And I should be able to construct, look at that, not bad. So when I grade this tomorrow, I'm going to be looking, did you do both angle bisectors? And did you do that other perpendicular? And did you choose the correct radius? All right, Caitlin. Okay, 16. I'm going to take us back to our picture. We're back to this picture. So on 16, we are told that GC, this whole segment here, all the way to there is 21. If this is 21, what is this segment here? 7. Then what is this one here? Double the little one, 14. And together they should equal what? 21. So they asked for FC, and FC is the 14, and GF is the 7. Next question. 2. All right. I do believe that I phrased these questions similarly on your test. You need to draw yourself a what? Triangle. They have told us that we've got triangle A, N, G, and they've told us that angle A is equal to angle N. Before you go any further, what do those two angles tell you? NG, which is opposite A, and AG, which is opposite N, are congruent. You need to mark those. Now, and this is exactly the way you're going to see it on your test. AN is 4x minus 3. That is not an angle. NG is 5x plus 12. That is not an angle. And we've got 7x minus 18. These do not add to 180. They are not inside. They are sides. What is your equation going to be? I gave you information you do not need, and we'll do so on the test to see if you know what you're doing. Kayla? What are we going to set equal? Okay, are they angles? These are sides. They don't add to 180. Angles do. Kayla, this is the important part right here. What do those mean? Okay, so what's your equation? All right. If I did not give you this, then you could set those equal to each other and not know what you were doing. But by putting this here, I am checking to see, do you really understand the geometry? And what's the purpose of a test or an assessment? To see if you understand, correct. So, will you be given information you do not need? Yes, because that's the only way I know if you know what you're doing. So we got minus 5x minus 5x, so you've got 2x minus 18 equals 12. Add your 18, you get 30. Divide by 2, you get 15. But I didn't ask for x. I asked for the measure. No, I didn't. What did I ask? I asked for an. How am I going to find, now how will I find an? So we're going to say 4 times my x minus 3. 4 15s are 60 minus 3 is 57. Were you good on 8 through 12? Okay, 3 is coming at these two theorems a little bit differently. On 3, I have, again, if you don't draw the triangle, you're going to have problems. We have BAT. Now, I have told you that A is the vertex angle. What does that mean? I should have said A is a vertex angle of isosceles triangle BAT. What does that mean? Pardon? Yes, 2 of those sides are equal. The question is, do you know which sides? The ones that form that angle. The 2 equal sides form the vertex angle. So this is a way of me testing your understanding of the vocabulary of a isosceles triangle. All right, so if you have 2 equal sides, before you look at anything else, what do you know? Angle B and angle T are congruent because they're opposite those equal sides. So if I tell you that A is 53, how are you going to get those two sides, or those two angles that we do not know? 180 minus 53 is 8, 7, 10. How about 127? Then what do you do? 127 divided by 2, because they're equal, we got to split this in half. 6, which is 12. Bring down your 7. 3 times 2 is 6. Now, when you run out of numbers, we put a decimal. We bring down a 0. How many times does 2 go into 10? 5. So that's how I got 63.5 for each one of those. Caitlin. Okay, so let's see. Let's go this way. Oh, here it is. All right, so we're back to this picture. So what we've been given now is we've been given FD. FD is 9. If that is 9, what is this going to be? 18. So now what is this whole thing? 27. Caitlin? Okay. The relation from the vertex to this point of concurrency is 2 times as big as from that point to the midpoint. So if this is 9, we double it, and then we add to get 27. Yes? That was 15. For those of you who have done the project, was 21 easy? For those of you who've done the project, was 21 easy? 21 you did on your project. Other questions? All right, you need to study. You need to study this information right here. There's several questions on that. You all need to see. You need to study this relationship. There's a lot of this on the test. Brittany? Oh, I guess that would make sense, wouldn't it? Or I could check it real quick, yes. Ooh, was that 19? 19. Yes, there you go. All right, so I think what I'll do is I'll try to check some homework before you go.